Today we are having a look at the King Seiko, not just one of them, but all of them. While you're here, help out the channel and hit that subscribe button, and don't hesitate to click like if you enjoy these videos. The difficulty with Seiko watches nowadays is not so much if you should get one, but rather which one you should get. So what about these new King Seiko watches? What are these all about? And, well, more important, should you get one? King Seiko is new to the modern Seiko collection, but it's a brand that is not new to Seiko, of course, as most of you probably know by now. So King Seiko was launched in the early 60s. It was essentially a direct competitor to Grand Seiko, so some friendly in-house competition, if you will, to keep everyone on their toes and ensure Seiko's watchmakers kept pushing the envelope. King Seiko was made in one Seiko factory and Grand Seiko in another. And eventually Grand Seiko came out on top. Now that is until Seiko launched the Quartz watch, because that essentially meant both King and Grand Seiko got put on hold. The Quartz crisis, or well, Quartz revolution if you ask Seiko, of course decimated the traditional mechanical watch industry, and this is also where Seiko then shifted its full focus. Quartz was the future. Now fast forward a few decades and Seiko brought back Grand Seiko, but King Seiko never did make a return until very recently, that is. Now, King Seiko here is not just a watch, so it is truly a new family of watches that will continue to exist under the Seiko umbrella. So we know Presage, Prospects, for example, and now you can add King Seiko to that list as well. So King Seiko distinguishes itself from the other family of watches due to the level of finishing and a more or less traditional design approach. Now anyway, enough background information here, let's dive right into the details now. Looking at the dial, you see the lovely Sunburst dial here, arguably my favorite one in the collection currently. However, that is a matter of personal taste, of course, and the other dials in the collection are just as nice. You can see the other 4 dial versions here, side by side. Now what all these dials share are the nicely finished hands and indices. While not exactly as elaborate as what we find at Grand Seiko today, this is very nicely done, and I was quite frankly not expecting this to hold up so well, especially under this rather insane magnification. So truly well done, and yeah, color me impressed. I had to remind myself that this is a Seiko dial and not a Grand Seiko dial. The applied Seiko logo, by the way, balances nicely against the printed King Seiko text. All the details also get their chance to shine thanks to the AR coating that is applied to the box-shaped sapphire crystal. It's a good choice there by Seiko. Zooming out a bit, you can also see that the interesting visuals are not limited to the dial only. The case has very nice lines, strong angles, and a combination of brushed and polished surfaces. The crown here also bears the updated King Seiko logo, which is always a nice touch. Now the screw case back is closed, as you can see, helping the watch also with its 100-meter water resistance. Beating inside is Seiko's in-house caliber 6R31, which offers an impressive 70-hour power reserve and has an accuracy of +25 -15 seconds a day. Caliber 6R31 does not have a date function, which is excellent news to me on this type of watch. It also helps keep the thickness down of the caliber, which is of course another plus for any watch. Now moving to the bracelet. So you can get this watch on a variety of straps. However, do yourself a favor and get it on the bracelet. It's gorgeous. It feels great on the wrist, and the construction of the bracelet and also the clasp feels excellent to me. Time will tell how it holds up, of course. Now it feels very solid, so not flimsy at all. And notice also how the details, the finishing and the angles that you find on the case also continue here on the bracelet and the links. Very, very nicely done, and I'm sure this watch will look great on straps, but this would probably stay on its bracelet for me. Now on the wrist, really, to me, perfection. So the 37mm size is very atypical, or let's say rather atypical for a modern Seiko, but such a perfect choice here. On the bracelet it wears like a dream, and notice that the very end links in fact do not bend down, so they do increase the length of the watch a little bit, which is, good and bad depending on your wrist size, of course. I think for most people this is good. So granted, you can also get this watch on the strap, but as I mentioned, I again strongly suggest you get this on the bracelet. It's really half of the fun here. A very versatile watch on the wrist, and ignoring the lack of lume, which, well, would look a bit out of place here anyway, you can wear this watch for most occasions, or pretty much all occasions, thanks to its design and of course also the nice water resistance. This could pretty much be your one and only mechanical watch. Now, in conclusion, to me, this is a stellar release by Seiko. So much like the Prospex SPB283 and its siblings from a while back, this watch was an instant yes for me as soon as it hit my wrist. Well made, lovely dial details and finishing, a nice all-rounder and a very versatile watch. And that bracelet, well, just lovely. King Seiko is back.